Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and today we take a look at independent women complaining about men not helping them, so let's jump into it right after you subscribe.
Alright, this is gonna offend some people, but it needs to be said. I have never heard more in my life about alpha males and alpha men and like dominant men and traditional men than I have in like the past 2 years, right? And that's fine, whatever. I'm not gonna make a statement on that. But let me point out the fact that in the past couple of years, I also have noticed that if you're ever like struggling, like in a grocery store, in a parking lot, lifting something at work, picking up a table, not one man is gonna stop to help you. Not one man. And like even up to like 10 years ago, or when I lived in Pakistan, like men will jump to help a woman because like, yeah, as a woman I am weaker, and as your alpha male traditional dominant self, you should be jumping in to help me, right? Because that's the role. You want to be the alpha, you want to be dominant, alright, jump in and help as needed. Nah, y'all want to sit at home, y'all want to get your toes done, your nails done, shout out Drake, and then you want to be called an alpha male. I'm just saying, where's the real alpha males at? Because can't reach on the shelves. I had to put all my grocery in my trunk.
I think she needs to remember that she is no longer in Pakistan. She is in the West, where women are strong, independent, and don't need a man helping them out, 'cause they are empowered as hell. I mean, there is nothing wrong with all of that, but if you claim to be such an empowered woman, and that you can do everything a guy can do, then why are you complaining about them, not helping you or not protecting you? After all, men are the real problem for these women, as called by this woman here.
Oh, Jesus, take the freaking wheel on this. You do realize that you guys are the reason that most of us look over our shoulders and are aware of our surroundings in dark parking lots, right? You do realize happened because of men, right? You do realize that the right to bear arms also applies to women, right? I'd be willing to bet if you asked, I don't know, go find 10 random women and ask them the most horrific abuse in their life, if it was at the hands of a female or if it was at the hands of a male. We've been protecting ourselves for a long time, sir. We do not need you or your boys club to do it for us. Start protecting women. Boy, did you get drunk and get on the internet and start typing dumb shit? Maybe y'all could, I don't know, start protecting women. No, but y'all tend to act like y'all didn't see the shit that your friend did to so-and-so at a party, and yeah, y'all suddenly get amnesia and y'all blind to that. Get the out of here with this shit.
I think she should realize that there are way more men protecting people than there are men who do that heinous crime to women. She should realize that in a dark parking lot, both genders look over their shoulders, not just women. She should realize that most shooting victims are male. So as far as protection goes, no woman can protect herself without some sort of help from a man, yet women would continue asking men to be more traditional and chivalrous, not realizing they are the ones who killed it, as shown in this clip.
Okay, hear me out. Is chivalry like amongst you guys? Because I'm pretty sure it is. I've met a handful of men that have proven to me that chivalry isn't. But it's like no one really knows what it is anymore. No one knows the walking down the street rule that you should walk on the roadside. No one knows that you should be opening doors. No one knows that you should be pulling the chair out for the woman. Like, it's the most simplest things. Opening the car door. Like, it's got to be so simple, yet it's not done. And I just think, if you want me to be this feminine, like, submissive woman, make me feel like I can be one, rather than one that I have to take control, I have to take charge.
Her argument is flawed from the start, because a man does not need to act in a certain way. For a woman to be feminine and submissive, she either is submissive or she is not. And as far as chivalry goes, men before the feminist movement were more chivalrous than ever. And what did they get for it? They got the label of a misogynist and oppressor and whatnot. So why should men now give you lot any special treatment?
I have to be in my masculine energy just so that you can be in your feminine, basically. Like, I can't be the only one that thinks myself. Chivalry is like, hardly any guy seems to think that any of those things are needed anymore. And this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I feel like the really extreme sort of ruined that. I'm just like, ugh, go away. Like, I want equality, but I also agree that to a certain extent men have their role and women have their role. I agree with equal pay and all the rest of it, but you just think, ugh.
So she wants the best of both worlds. She wants the modern rights along with the traditional benefits, and that is not possible. Because the longer women continue their feminist bullshit, the longer they would have to date feminine and non-chivalrous men, as seen in this clip here.
I've been going on dates for the past 2 weeks. When I say I'm not satisfied, this what the f I got to choose. When you take me on a date, you open up my door. You open up the door, you pull out the chart if it's a chart, and you cut my steak if it's a steak. I'm always gonna order a steak to see if you got some home training, hoe. If you take a female on a date, she order a steak, you cut it. The they pre-cut it, then you cut it. Be a gentleman. Be the gentleman. You trying to gently touch on this. Do the work. Do the work. We going on multiple dates. You want some from me? We going on multiple dates. We putting in effort. We doing what we gotta do to get some. Come.
I'm going to go one step further and say that the majority of men do not actually protect women in this way. Like, they talk a lot of shit, right? But in the past, whenever I think about it in relationships, it is very rare that a man who would consider himself a protector or a man who would fit within that, like, traditional gender binary role, which they were all, like, cis men, that they would actually protect me whenever I needed to be protected from other men. Specifically from other men. I have had more significant protection from fellow non-men than I have from men. Like, overwhelmingly. And I am talking about active protection. I'm not talking about passive protection, because I know that a lot of cis men do passively, without knowing, protect women or non-men just by existing around them. I'm just gonna tell a couple of anecdotal stories. One time I was holding a party in my apartment. I was dating a cis man at the time. I was actually roommates with 2 cis men at the time. There was a man who showed up with a gun in the apartment. He was belligerently drunk. Neither of the men in my apartment had confronted him to leave or told him to leave or called the authorities or anything. I was incredibly upset. So upset. And I remember thinking to myself, these men aren't going to protect me. So I approached the man myself. I went up to him and I said, hey, I don't know who you are. You gotta go. And everybody just froze. Everybody paused and froze, because they were like, again, this belligerent, white man with a gun in my apartment. And I was like, if y'all ain't gonna say something, I'm gonna have to say it. And the thing is, women of color and non-men of color have been saying this for forever. We've been saying this for decades, that y'all are not protecting us. Y'all are the ones who are hurting us. Because either your inaction, your cowardice, or your protection, or your lack of advocacy and your lack of allyship, all of it is contributing to our harm. Like, you're not protecting us. You're protecting yourselves. Another anecdotal story where a non-man protected me in a way that men simply just have not. I was out clubbing with my girlfriends. It was a girls' night. We were not trying to get attention from men. But I kept getting my arm grabbed. I kept getting, men were just on one harassing me that night. And I remember there was a man who catcalled me, right? And the girlfriend that I was with at the time looked at him and she said, shut